All right, so we have our large and small test tube set up for the pH variable. Remember, this is our independent variable, and our dependent variable will be the actual amount of oxygen gas foam that is produced after 4 minutes. So we'll go ahead and add the contents of the small test tube, which is our catalase, into the large test tube. And then you want to do this as quickly as possible so that they have as similar of a starting rate. And our test tube A pH is 2.4. That had the most HCl. And then test tube B is 4.7. And test tube C is 7.0, which is a neutral pH. Test tube D will be 10.0. So we're in the basic range by adding sodium hydroxide. Test tube E will be 12.5 pH. So that's our highest pH, our most basic environment. So this will go ahead and run for the remainder of the 4 minutes, and then after 4 minutes, you will measure from the bottom of the oxygen gas foam to the top to get a measure of enzyme activity. All right, so the 4 minutes is now complete. So in quick succession, we want to go ahead and measure the amount of foam in test tube A. Remember, test tube A was our most acidic. It had the most hydrochloric acid, so its pH was 2.4. And then test tube B, go ahead and write down how much foam you have. That is a little bit less acidic at 4.7 pH. And then test tube C is our neutral environment with a pH of 7.0. So remember, you're measuring from the bottom of the foam to the top of the foam. And then test tube D had a pH of 10. And finally, test tube E had a pH of 12.5, which is our most basic environment. So go ahead and record those measurements on your data table along with the pH values.